Hi guys, this is Rusty 78609 from Central Texas, USA in my luxurious 26-foot Jayco J-Flight bunkhouse model RV that I live in. I have full-time RV'd for 25 years plus. I've also gone camping off and on for 5 years in a Toyota Prius. I also went camping for 7 weeks in a pickup with a camper top on it, a Ram pickup with a Lear camper top. So I've done a lot of different ways of camping, and now I'm in the process of downsizing from my 26-foot to something else. And what I'm going to buy and have ordered is a 16-foot Coachmen Clipper Cadet CBH, which will be here the middle of September, supposedly. However, I had on order a 13-foot SCAMP. Why did I cancel the SCAMP? Because I determined that 13-foot for me would be a little small since I live in it. I live in it full time. I've lived in this 26-foot Jayco for about 3.5 years. I have lived in travel trailers for over 20 years or more, probably close to 30 to tell you the truth, and since 1987, whatever that figures out to be, in that range. But what I've done is, for your benefit and mine, is I did a little comparison of the Coachmen Clipper Cadet CBH 16-foot travel trailer, the CASITA 16-foot. Now they make different models of the CASITA, and so I just kind of picked the minimum or bottom level, whatever you want to call it, and the SCAMP 16-foot the same way. They offer different versions, so the price can vary and the weight can vary a little bit. But this is generally true. This is not an exhaustive study. I just did this for my own benefit, and I thought I would share it with you, because those of you that are looking for small RVs that you can tow with virtually anything, and I'm trying to get all my, this is a t-shirt that a viewer sent me, has my name on it. Some of them have just my name, Rusty, and some of them have Rusty 78609, and it is a fruit of the loom fashion statement. So for the Clipper, all right, we'll go down them. All right, price first, because that's what everybody wants to know, is the price. The Coachmen Clipper Cadet CBH 16-foot travel trailer, and it's C-O-A-H-M-E-N, not M-A-N. It's Coachmen. The price on it, for me, here in Central Texas, I got it at Crestview RV Sales in Georgetown, Texas, and they quoted me a price of $9,750 delivered. Okay, but then again, you got to add sales tax and other stuff. But anyway, $9,750 for that one. The CASITA 16-foot, I actually drove to their plant in Rice, Texas, and looked at all their units and determined that the 16-footer from CASITA will not work for me. The deal killer there was the interior height, 5 foot 10 inches. But anyway, the CASITA is about $18,000, depending on what kind of options you add to it. It can be more or maybe a little less. And then we have the SCAMP 16-footer coming in at about $16,500, but again, that can vary a little bit depending on the model you select and the options you select, but in that range. The weight of the Coachmen is 2,360 pounds for the 16-footer. The CASITA 16-footer weighs about 2,100 pounds depending on what options you get, but in that range. The SCAMP weighs 2,000. Now the SCAMP and the CASITA are all fiberglass. The Coachmen is aluminum. Okay, I've got aluminum siding, which is different and cheaper. As far as the weight, not much difference, as you can see. The overall length, that's from the front of the tongue to the back bumper, all the way, the total length. The total overall length of the Coachmen Clipper Cadet is 17 feet total. The total length of the CASITA is 16 feet, and the SCAMP is 16 feet. So what that means is, with the Coachmen, you've got 1 foot more of interior space. And that's true, because I've actually been on the inside of the CASITA and the SCAMP, and I know what they are. The interior height is the Coachmen Clipper Cadet CBH 6 foot 4 inches, which I like. Actually, that is really good. The CASITA 16-footer is 5 foot 10. Can't do that one because I'm 6 foot 2. The SCAMP 16-footer, they say is 6'3", but I have to tell you, I stood inside of one and my head was touching the ceiling, and I'm 6'3", not pressed against the ceiling, but it rubbed against the ceiling, and that was the deal killer for me on both of those units. Because I'm going to live in it. I'm not just going camping in it, I'm going to live in it. It makes a big difference. Now, as far as the bath, whether it's a full bath or a wet bath or whatever, the Coachmen Clipper Cadet CBH 16-footer comes with a full bath. Got a toilet, a tub, got a shower curtain and the whole deal, and you can stand up straight, all that stuff. So that's a big winner for Coachmen. A lot of winners for Coachmen. Yeah, a lot. We'll go down those again in a minute. But for the CASITA, I'd say it's a medium bath. It's a little cramped, but not too bad. It's possible. But again, the deal killer there was the interior height. You got to stand in the shower like that. But the SCAMP, the SCAMP bath is just small. Okay, it's just small. That's all I can tell you. I mean, for camping, be great. For a few days, no problem. But for living in, for me, not going to work. Here's one I just threw in: the wait time. In other words, if you order. You can find a Coachmen Clipper Cadet 16-foot CBH. Some dealers have them on their lots right now. Unfortunately, the closest one to me is about 1,000 miles. There's one in Florida, and then there's one somewhere up in Indiana or somewhere. And there's a few others, but they're over 1,000 miles away, and I'm not going to drive that far. So for me, I'll have to wait about 6 weeks or maybe 8 weeks to get mine delivered to the dealership here in Georgetown, Texas, which is about 50 miles away from where I live in Central Texas, USA. The CASITA, it may vary a little, but I believe you're looking at around 6 months, 4 to 6 months minimum on the CASITA, and the same on the SCAMP. The reason that is on both of those, see, they're both fiberglass units, and the Environmental Protection Agency will only let them emit so much of that pollution they emit into the atmosphere, and they've both of these people have actually been fined, as far as I know. Doesn't matter, but that's the reason their production is limited. It's not because they couldn't build a bigger facility and build more molds. They just can't, because they just can't emit that much pollution. They're regulated by the EPA. Of course, with the Coachmen, I guess they can build 1 billion of those, and nothing to them. As far as the AC in the Coachmen Clipper Cadet CBH, it comes with a window unit, 5,000 BTU. It does not have a remote. It's got manual controls. The CASITA 16-footer, you can get a front window AC, I believe. I believe you can. Now, as far as the SCAMP, they may have that same option, but both of them basically come with a roof AC, unless you can get the front AC and window area AC installed. As far as an awning, you can get an awning. It's optional on the CASITA and the SCAMP. The Coachmen Clipper, unbelievably, the cheapest one comes standard with a full-length power awning, an electric power awning. That's freaky, but it's true. That's what the Western sales manager told me, and so we'll see. As far as the fresh water holding tank, and I won't get into the black and gray, but the Coachmen Clipper is the winner on all three of those categories. But we'll just talk about the fresh water. The Coachmen Clipper Cadet CBH holds 33 gallons of fresh water. The CASITA 16-footer holds 16 gallons of fresh water, and the SCAMP 16-footer holds 12 gallons. Okay, now, as far as holding their value, I'd say, the CASITA and the SCAMP are both going to hold their value real well. But when you start off at those prices, they're going to decline some. Now, when you start off at $9,750 on the Coachmen Clipper Cadet CBH, if it declines 20%, that's $1,800. Big deal. You still got to, so I don't see how you're going to, I mean, from my point of view, of course, this is my thinking, if I wanted to sell it in 3 or 4 years, I don't see how I could be hurt very much, okay, financially. Now the CASITA and the SCAMP probably the same way. They hold their value very well. They're very well built. You know, probably quality of build, probably the CASITA would be number 1, SCAMP would be number 2, and Clipper would be number 3. Okay, because it's not a high quality unit at all. It doesn't have a lot of bells and whistles, and I don't think it has any slide out drawers. It's got doors that open, so you're gonna have to put shelving in there, which I want, because that way I can do my own shelving. In other words, I can have drawers where I want them and little storage things as I want them. Okay, and of course the weight. But as far as quality of build, the Coachmen would come in last without a doubt. But for my purposes, you know, since I'm going to live in it, and all I want to do is get out of the Texas heat starting in June and come back maybe the middle of September or end of September, and that right depends whenever I get quote homesick, because I do have a home base here. I've lived at for about 12 years or more, and so that's a heads up on that, guys. So if you're looking for a low priced unit that you can tow with pretty much anything, the weight on the Coachmen is 2,360 pounds, which is more than the CASITA or the SCAMP 16 footers, but not much. I mean, and you know, again, the interior height, you've just got more room in the Coachmen Clipper. That's all I can tell you. You really do. I mean, it's but again, I'm living in it. Okay, I'm looking at it from a living in it standpoint, and most people are going to be looking at this from a going camping standpoint, maybe a weekend or a week or two or a month, and then, you know, go back to their 8-bedroom, 12-bath, sticks and brick home and go back to work. Okay. But anyway, having said that, guys, that's all I wanted to say on that. So y'all have a great day and think about it. So, but I'm going with the Coachmen. Should be here hopefully the middle or 3rd week of September, and then I'm going to start adding some, you know, some shelving and fixing it up for me to live in. But again, I'm 72, retired. I just want something to do. So that'll be a little project, and then, you know, and after I fool with that for a year, 2 or 3, I may do something else. We'll see. But having said that, thumbs up, carpe diem, adios, bye, bye, bye. USA made when you can. Drink plenty of water. 3 or 4 quarts a day will not hurt you. In fact, it's good for you. Drinking water will help you avoid kidney stones, gout. It'll help you lose weight. You feel full, you won't want to eat. It'll also help you regulate your blood sugar levels if you drink plenty of water, if you're diabetic or whatever. And you know, take deep breaths. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Do that several times a day. Why? Because that relieves stress, and relieving stress lowers your blood pressure, which makes it a little easier on your heart. So with that in mind, then stretch, walk, keep your health, or you're not going to be worried about buying a CASITA, SCAMP, or Coachmen. You're going to worry about paying your hospital bills. So anyway, guys, thumbs up. Enjoy your Sunday, and tomorrow is the eclipse. Woo! The evil spirits are going to eat the sun. All right, bye-bye, guys.